Hi, welcome to Coffee with Kim. I am Kim Bassett, your host. Today is going to be a really powerhouse day. The woman, and she also brought a guest with her. We are going to be talking with is someone who truly embodies serving others. And um, I am very honored to know this woman, and I am excited to start working with her. And I just think we just need to introduce a little bit about who she is.
Today on Coffee with Kim, coming from California, is Lauren Robles. Lauren is a loving mother of three and a wife to her one and only, and deeply committed to her faith. After leading a 17-year career, this powerhouse woman is living her passion of serving others. As a real estate agent with Sparrow Lily Realty, a service coordinator for Abundant Living Family Church in Pomona, and a trail leader for Rescue Freedom Yosemite. When not doing all of this, she is found under the barbell as she recently became a CrossFit Level 1 trainer. In the words of Lauren, hard things are my jam. Lauren, welcome to Coffee with Kim.
I always get so excited. Lauren, welcome to so much. This is going to be such a great time together.
Well, thank you, Kim, for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right. So we are going to get right into it because we have a lot to cover today. Lauren, just take a few minutes so people can get to know a little bit who you are and kind of what you're doing here.
Hi, good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, wherever you're tuning in from. So, as the intro stated, I am a mother of three, a wife to one and only, and I have spent the last 17 years just grinding away in my real estate investing career. And I just really had a heart for service. So, 40-year birthday is approaching this weekend, and I finally had the courage to step out and to pursue my dreams of serving others. So it's been a journey for the last maybe 5 years of getting up that courage and getting my feet wet in these different service roles. And God just keeps opening more and more doors for serving my community. And He has allowed me to pursue my passions of fitness, of getting outdoors and things like that, using those passions with a heart of service. And am just super excited to be able to be marrying the two.
Yes. So we are going to be talking a little bit and focusing today on this Yosemite hike for Rescue Freedom. So how did you get involved with them in the first place? And how did you, it's embodying a lot of who you are, right? But how did you get involved?
So it was a really funny story. I was hiking down the north rim of the Grand Canyon with one of the founders of the hike. We were with another organization at the time, but I remember hiking down the north rim and we were chatting about her first hike in Washington. And it went from one hike to now, I think we're over 14 hikes 4 years later.
Wow. So I'm from Washington State, so that's definitely a passion of mine. So you just started with another organization and then you started doing these hikes. And what are these used for? So I want to bring your guest with us, and it's not going to be any stranger to us because this is Celia Garcia. She's had her own show and been part of our Women Supporting Women series with her beautiful daughters. And so we wanted to have someone who is, experienced like Lauren. And Celia, you're going to be doing this new. So tell us a little bit about your story and why this was so important and passionate to you.
Yes, well, I'm a good friend with Lauren. We've done some business together. We became good friends because we have, a lot of the same views and beliefs. And the part about serving others and living your life with passion and for a purpose is very much something that we connected on. And this is my first hike. And actually, I just want to attest to the leadership. I think I mentioned this before, leadership skills that Lauren has, her and her husband. First of all, I love the fact that they work out together and they stay in shape and fit together, because that's a dream of mine, to have a partner that I can do those things with. And she made it very simple for me. This is my first hike into the mountains in 20 years. When I first hiked 8 weeks ago, when we started training, I didn't have any experience recently. I swim and do other things like that, but I can tell you this, this really beat me up, man. But the purpose that you're doing it for, the leadership of someone that's coaching you. Basically, let me just tell you that Lauren didn't let me stay behind, and she did not leave me behind. She stayed with me, continued to tell me I had what it takes to do it. We're talking, I'll let Lauren tell us, the level of elevation and the level of incline and the level of difficulty was something I never experienced before. But, and I'm going to be 61 in September. So this to me, again, is just kind of a challenge. And it's very meaningful personally to me, because when I was 13 years of age, I lived in Los Angeles, and in broad daylight, I was kidnapped by someone that was, interested in sexually assaulting me. And it took me 5 to 7 hours. I don't even know how long I was under their control. And it took me to really fight. I had to fight for my life. And of course, the whole time I was praying and speaking to God, and I felt like he gave me the fortitude to continue to look for an escape in a moment when I found myself, I was knocked out and found myself somewhere where I didn't know where I was, and I didn't know how to get away. And it was the afternoon. I left my house at 3 in the afternoon to put a postal in a postal box 3 blocks from my house, and then I was disappeared. And so I feel like it was getting dark and I could lose my life, or I could be turned over to other people. I mean, so many things could have happened to me because I was an innocent young girl. I was. And so, of course, I have 2 daughters, and I have my new granddaughter that is a beautiful girl. And so you look at what's going on in the world and the fact that this is a serious ongoing problem, and you freak out for your own daughters and grandchildren, because this doesn't just happen in other parts of the world, of course, when we're traveling, but there are so many people that need our help. And this is definitely something that I want more men and women to get involved in. And this is a wonderful way to do that. So I really am praise Lauren for getting a newbie like me involved. And it's really been a very powerful experience. Because you see people from other parts of the country also doing their hikes, because they're posting in our Facebook group. And you see people are going out there for days and days camping and hiking. I mean, they're really doing long hikes. In comparison to what we're doing, and they're just giving it their all for this cause.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing, your personal story. I'm going to put some things up here to really kind of shed even a more powerful light on it. Every day, at least 40.3 million people are trafficked around the world. That is crazy. And that is, I got all this information, and I'll share it later, is off the rescuefreedom.org website. 23, where they work, 23 countries. All right. I mean, look at that. 20 and several places within the United States, those locations. We'll talk a little bit more about this organization a little bit later, but I just flew in last night, and every time I go to the Las Vegas airport here, they have on all the stalls, they have a number and signs. This is one of the big hot spots. Back in 2019, I started meeting with some of the women and organizations here in the Valley, and there's like a halfway house that they're building here because of this effort to help. And, Rescue Freedom, they are not just doing it themselves, they are working with so many of the organizations. Is that correct, Lauren?
Yes, absolutely. They have local partners, is what they call them, all around the world.
Yeah. So I would like to play a video. It's about 2 minutes long, everyone. So I just want to give you a heads up, but I think it will give and show the impact that this deserves.
Thousands today are caught by the snares of human trafficking. But what happens if I told you that by climbing some of the most beautiful mountains, you could play a pivotal part in someone's freedom? By the way, have the time of your life doing it.
So before our freedom hike, there's just this excitement in the air that they're about to go out there and just do something awesome. Everybody's amped up, everybody's ready to go, everybody's making sure they've got everything they got.
Chase down a brand new adventure. Step up, step out and into.
I feel like everybody who is on these hikes has the same purpose and goal in mind.
There's no time for stalling. The wild is calling.
I think it's just so positive and powerful to be able to do something that I truly enjoy and that fills me, but it's also for a greater cause.
There's no words to describe being in the middle of something so remote, what seems like a painting, a postcard.
Through Freedom Hikers' collaboration with Rescue Freedom, 12 people per week are freed. You could be the one that frees the next person. Want to learn more? Go to our website. See you at a trailhead soon.
No time for stalling. The wild is calling.
Wow. That just gives me chills to watch that. So,
Yeah.
Lauren, why should people want to participate? Why? I mean, that's just a given why you'd want to participate just watching that, right? But let's say you're not one that wants to do that. What more can be done? And do you have any stories?
So many stories. I'm sitting here and watching that video, and I can't believe that I was there. I walked those trails. I saw those sights. It's just incredible. So, and it's not just the event. It's all of the time that leads to the event. It's sharing the story, our personal stories as hikers, as trail leads, and generating the awareness, because that's where it begins, and then recruiting people to come alongside and join the mission. And that looks like babysitters for the kids for these training hikes. That looks like people like Celia, and I have a local group here in Southern California that we've been training together. And that is community while we train out there. We've been doing Friday mornings, and then that looks like a financial donation, right? For the people that don't feel led to be outside, although I don't know why you wouldn't want to get out there and do these incredibly hard things, but they're so much fun and they're so life-giving. But a financial donation, some of it looks like, coming alongside and being a financial partner, whether that's a one-time donation or a monthly donation. But I think that everyone can agree that there is absolutely a need to get behind. I mean, there's no question, right? Anytime I share with someone what I'm doing, there is a heart for people that want to get behind it. So sometimes it looks like a financial donation. Sometimes it looks like a share, right? Like share my story, share the organization, share the ask. So
Have you heard any firsthand stories that, are, not too difficult to share, of some of the people that have been rescued and how it's changed their life?
not necessarily firsthand, but we as hikers, we carry a tag on our backpack of a name, which it's not their true name, right? They give them a different name, but we have their story on a little tag and it's on our backpack. So we remember when we're out there who we are doing this for. And when I was looking at my tag recently, I reread the story of a young woman who had been sold by her family member. And that just destroyed me. Like, and hear me, like, it's not always like a malicious thing. These families, they feel like they have no other choice, right? Like they have a circumstance that has put them in a position where they have to sell a young woman or a child in their family, and that just destroys me. But to
Yeah.
know that they are able to help these women and children restart their lives, whether that's through providing identification and documentation so that they can feel equipped to go out and pursue another way of supporting themselves, or getting education and counseling that will equip them again to go out and pursue another lifestyle, because the story is over and over again that they don't know anything else, that this is the only way that they can
Yeah.
provide for themselves. So knowing that we're providing shelter, education, I'll never forget the time, my first Rescue Freedom hike, standing in the living room of the cabin, and we're all jazzed and we're all excited because like the next day we're going to wake up early and we're going to do this thing. And Laura, who's the founder of the Freedom Hikes, she told us the story about how many beds we had purchased, right? The money that we raised that year, how many beds it provided, how many vehicles it provided. And when she spoke about the tangible things that we so often take for granted, that was like a moment I never forgot, right? Because we wake up, right, at 6 a.m. on our days off, and we
Yes.
get the babysitters and we pack the hiking snacks that we get like super tired of after 8 weeks. And like, but in actuality, those things are really not a big deal, right? Like those little sacrifices, when we remember who we're doing it for, they just become so insignificant.
Yeah. I just, a lot of the words I use for this show is, helping people to change their perspective or to be inspired and to be educated, right? We need to shine this light on these organizations. We need to shine that awareness, like you said. The stories that I've heard here in Las Vegas when I was meeting, with those other organizations, getting involved with them, very, very similar, where they rescued a young woman who also obviously has a child now, but she was just here for a bachelorette party. And some, guy was just really, suave and, good talker, and got her to stay and took her away from her friends that were there. And afterwards stayed, and then, was brought into the trafficking, and they got the daughter away. And so it's just one story of where families have had to go in and rescue their daughters, right? And there's that understanding and that knowledge and empowering, whether you're, the boys or a girl, whoever, right? It's happening to all genders and races. The website I thought was beautiful. It talks here, their mission is we exist to empower the rescue and restoration. I love that word, the restoration of those in sexual slavery and to prevent exploitation. Their website is beautiful. It has a video, on there of a young woman, right? I love the fact that I learned so much about all these different places, because this is something I am going to be more and more involved with. The difference between freedom and slavery looks different in every city, and so does how we operate, right? So they look at, they partner, right, with the experts. They're not out there trying to be the expert, but they are there as a support to the experts. And I really have been so impressed, and they vet them very carefully from what it looked like. I've seen nothing but amazing things on the internet. So don't be surprised if you see me maybe next year joining you.
I'd love to have you out there, and then Celia can pay it forward as far as training goes, right, Celia?
Yeah. I mean, here, I'm not sure. I didn't see anything in Las Vegas, but we have some great mountains here. I have a sister who lives in southern Utah. They've got Zion's, which is another amazing mountain, and I love Yosemite. So I think, I love that you're doing something that's beautiful to bring awareness. You're asking for donations, whether it's your time, whether it's your money, however you can donate. I think what we need to do is make sure people know how to reach you, though. There is going to be several links so that has been provided by Lauren and Freedom Rescue that we're going to put down in the comments so that you can know how to get a hold of them. And for example, Rescue Freedom is rescuefreedom.org. And then we have Lauren at laurenrobles.com. So is there a specific thing that you're looking for that people need to, is there a dollar amount, or, I know I'm going to put in a link, for your place to go donate. That will also be there. Is there something else that you can think of? I mean, or inform us on.
So we are hiking the last Saturday in August, so August 28th. And for the Yosemite hike, our goal is $55,000. So we are currently a little shy of that. So any financial donations are much appreciated. And then also, there are other hikes. They haven't been announced yet for 2022, but if anyone else wants to get on mission with us, what I loved is that the mission is to end slavery in our lifetime, like in this lifetime. So I love their bold mission. So if anyone wants more information about the hikes, about the training, and wants to participate next year, or wants to make a financial donation, and just share, like I said, share with others, because we are super fortunate. We're super blessed to just have jobs and have our families and be safe. But just take a minute, right, to think about those that are not as fortunate. And then just be willing to just take a few minutes, right? It takes just a few minutes, because I know people are busy and they're like, they want to do it, and then they just get on to the next thing. I get it. I do that. But really, it just takes like a few minutes if they want to like sacrifice their Starbucks coffee and make a donation. it's going to go, it's going to go towards providing a bed for someone. It's going to go towards providing a vehicle that's going to rescue someone and just change their lives. So,
Yeah. So the beds, I mean, is there a certain dollar amount that's like, this dollar amount provides a bed, or this dollar amount does this? Do you have anything like that?
I don't in front of me, but Rescue Freedom does provide this annual report that does put together all of that information for the participants and for the donors.
Okay.
So it is available.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I
What's
saw
that?
when I became involved with Lauren in the beginning, one of the things that really impressed me about the organization, having founded and operated nonprofits myself, is that they're very transparent and they provide you a look right into the money that's coming in and what they're spending it on. Right on, I don't know if that link is on their website, but I know that we can provide it. And I felt like the transparency is what's needed, so people feel confident in putting their dollars there, that it's going to be used for the purpose that it was intended to. And I think this organization, it really meets the test in that regard.
No, it really
I
does.
did have some data about last year, even amongst COVID, what they were able to do. 760 women and children were set free. 1,960 people received life-changing holistic care. 1,590 women and children were empowered through vocational training and education. 182,325 survivors, victims, and at-risk individuals were impacted through restoration, prevention, outreach, and intervention programs. And they launched 19 new projects to meet crucial needs during the global pandemic. So that's just a little bit of what they did last year. Yeah.
That's huge. Oh my goodness. That is very, very powerful. Oh my goodness. Thank you for sharing that. Celia, did you want to say something?
How many people did you say were set free last year?
769 women and children were set free.
Wow.
That's big.
That is really big. Well, and I know we have a long ways to go, but I'm hoping, with those that are watching and who will watch this broadcast, that they can maybe be inspired, right? And be a little bit more educated and have that perspective of really what's going on in the world and how they can maybe make a difference, right? That every day, right, a lot of us are working and looking to make a difference. And this is definitely a way to do that.
Something that we like to say is doing something that we love to fight what we hate.
Oh.
What's better than that? You get to do something you love to fight something you hate.
I love that.
That sounds like a win-win.
It's a win-win. Absolutely. Well, I've got great hiking shoes because I do hike up here. And now it looks like I just have to really get, how many miles is it? I forgot to ask that.
So the Yosemite hike is about 18 miles and 4,000 feet.
Wow.
Yes. We're out there for about a good 11 hours or so, depending on average.
Okay.
So it's an all-day event.
And obviously everyone is literally trying to help each other get through it because it's probably not easy for everyone.
Well, the training does equip you. So if you do the training, you will be equipped to enjoy the hike, is what I tell the hikers. If you are not as diligent on your training, then you might not enjoy it as much, right? It prepares you so that you are doing it and you're not struggling and miserable the whole entire time, right? Like you're conditioned, you can enjoy the wonders of the world, because in this particular hike in Yosemite, you get to see the highlights of Yosemite Valley front and center. And I always tell people, I'm like, once you've seen it up close and personal, like seeing it from the valley floor is never going to be good enough.
Oh, wow. And I've definitely seen it from the valley floor and it is spectacular. So definitely worth training and getting involved to be able to do that. So thank you, Celia, for introducing us and always supporting this show. I appreciate it so much. I'm really excited that we are getting people who are liking and subscribing on YouTube now a lot more. So I would encourage everyone to share this video, like, subscribe, so we can continue to, have more and more people be able to be made aware of great people like Lauren and Celia and others, and organizations like Rescue Freedom. So is there anything else as we kind of slow down here and to the end?
I just want to thank you. Oh, yes. Yes, a thank you. Absolutely.
Wow. It is definitely my honor, and excited all the things that we get to do together. So, and bringing more awareness. All right, everyone. In ending today, I would like to just share a little clip of what you saw earlier. I am very honored to bring you this organization, to bring you these wonderful, beautiful women, and the mission for ending this trafficking in our lifetime.
Thousands today are caught by the snares of human trafficking. But what happens if I told you that by climbing some of the most beautiful mountains, you could play a pivotal part in someone's freedom? By the way, have the time of your life doing it.